the kid on. Which leads us with the interesting prospect that Hitler may have been a Jew, on his father's side. In Jewish law, that doesn't work. His mother has to be a Jew. But, did he have a little rage against Jews? He did a slightly thing. Then he got a job. What? So that did go from king to dictator. There was something in between. Oh boy. He was a painter.
Oh really? He had a sensitive side.
And he painted, landscapes. I've seen some of them. They're sort of interesting. People in the landscapes. Sometimes he painted postcards. And his brother got a job as a waiter. And his brother was a waiter for more than 50 years in Vienna. And while all of the World War II stuff was going on, his brother just continued to be a waiter. After the war, his brother's a waiter. His brother's a waiter up until just before he died and retired. He had a sister who always defended him, even after World War II. She defended him.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Austrian government was having hits dealing with Miss Hitler and her pro-adult activities. Very sensitive time.
Did she look like him?
So, when World War I comes along, he goes off to France. He meets a girl and he has a baby, has a son. And then the war's over, so he just takes off back to, well, I think in Austria. Nothing was happening in Austria. The empire had fallen apart. So to Germany. But he left his girlfriend with the kid.
Wow.
And Hitler's son got up to 73 before he died. And what do you do if you're Hitler's son?
Kill yourself.
Don't kill yourself? Don't let people know who your father was.
Because
what he did.
Teach history 7B.
The historians figured out who the kid was, but they didn't say anything. He was a businessman in Strasbourg, and he just continued his life under his mother's name and didn't say much. Imagine that. It sounds like a great movie title. I was Hitler's son, right? And it was. Because of the Treaty of Versailles, or as the Germans call it, the Dictate of Versailles, he went to Germany and he fought against reparations. He fought against the Weimar Republic that replaced the German Empire. And he tried to overthrow, or go with the people who wanted to overthrow the Republic and have a more monarchical state. And he ended up in jail. And he wrote his book,
Mein Kampf.
Sort of psycho-Catholic in a way, about how all the problems of the world were caused by Jews. And he said this because in Germany, the Jews in Germany were very astute and successful and got into the banking sector and things like that. And normal, untrained Germans couldn't be to do it, so it must be their fault. This are people who crucified these people as schizophrenic, and apparently he was too. Which accounts for a lot of his behavior. So what happened? Eventually, he forms the National Socialist Party, or the Nazis in English, and in 1931 he gets elected as president, and eventually he becomes Chancellor of Germany when von Hindenburg died the next year. He took over. And he replaced the German economy with a fascist one. And he went after his opposition, as dictators do. Here he's bringing down the German parliament called the Reichstag. And he blamed it on his political enemies, the communists. Now, in the American context, communists are generally been bad guys because they're not Calvinists, but these guys are just trying to get something better than the monarchy. And so he rounded up the communists, executed most of them, and had his paramilitary group, the brown shirts, go out and beat up any opposition. This is all standard fascist stuff. This went on until the beginning of the war. Then in Italy, we had Benito Mussolini. Is Mussolini this guy or this guy? It's difficult to say.
I think he's the one on the left.
You think so?
That's my guess.
Yeah. But look at this guy. Well, Mussolini was not Mussolini. Yeah, the guy right there. This guy. Yeah, Mussolini. Yeah, that could be. I guess it's this guy. But you look at them, look at how they look. They all look like wrestlers. Mussolini became the prime minister of Italy in the 30s, and he started to clean things up. The first thing he went after were the railways. And he said, if a train is late, then he's going to jail the crew. They lose their job and they go to prison. And guess what? The trains are on time. They do anything to be on time. Then he wanted to build some hydroelectric plants. What do you think of that? I was on an Italian train the other day, and they were on time. All of them were on time.
They're still afraid of Mussolini.
Yeah, they're still afraid of Mussolini. That must be it. Also, I was on as a sleeping car, and in the car there were 4 dogs. Something they've never allowed in the U.S. Everybody takes their dogs when they go on trips in Italy. And dogs sit there with the other ones. They're very well trained. I'm not mine who was guarding me against the puppy bowl. I don't know. Who comes up with stuff like that? Anyway, Mussolini started an airplane building program. He invaded or beefed up the war in Libya. He invaded Ethiopia and kicked the emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, off the throne. Why did he invade Ethiopia? This is the only place that hadn't been invaded yet in Africa. And he took over. Very interesting there. He wanted to improve the power in the country. So he found a valley where he could build a hydroelectric dam. He gave everybody 2 weeks to get out, and the water was, then he'd start building the dam. And if they weren't compensated, it was for the greater good. They just had to leave the places they had lived for 1,000 years. They're going to live for 1,000 years. That's how he did it. There's all sorts of stories about Mussolini and about Hitler, but look at this one. This is what the people saw. Boy, are they having a good time in this picture.
Best buddies.
They're driving around. Hitler's having a fit. He's having such a good time. Look at that, a really cool laugh.
They share the same hotel room?
Who knows? That might be Goering, but it's shared hotel room. But anyway, Goering was one of the ministers who was homosexual, and he didn't hide it, which is really unreal.
Everybody else.
Anyway, when you saw pictures of Mussolini or Hitler, 9 out of 10 pictures where they were happy, they were laughing, they're having a good time. When we see them, they always see them as monsters, right? Because that's all they show. But the Germans or the Italians saw pictures like this all the time. He's a great guy. He's like Ronald Reagan. I mean, he's famous. He's having a good time. He's shown smiling. He goes to art shows. It's in color. And he's giving his opinion on art. And that's what the people were hoodwinked to believe. Imagine showing a happy Hitler in America. Everybody would be disgusted. Or a happy Mussolini. This is just how they did it.
Or a happy Lyndon LaRouche.
And with those two, we come to Japan. Now, Japan's a longer story to understand, but we got the time. So, what the hell? What's the story? In the 1880s, Japan had a revolution in which the Meiji Emperor came to the throne. He was a Western-looking